Hi guys, welcome back. It's such a pleasure to sit and talk to you about books. I could go on and on if left unchecked, so I won't do that. So let me start by just talking to you about the first section that I've planned for today, the regular feature, and it's going to be about the book I loved the most this month. Of all the books that I've read this month, the one that I loved the most. This month it's such a delightful book that I've got for you. It's called Breaking the Cocoon at 40 by Radha Nair. Radha Nair is somebody who started working after she was 40, and she always had a way with words. She has written children's books. She's written a couple of children's books, and I think she's also written a couple of Amar Chitra Kathas. And this is her first book. It's a memoir. It's a slim tome, and it is such a beautiful read. It is about her life when she started working after the age of 40, and it's divided into three sections. There's the 40s, then the 50s and 60s, and the 70s. So she talks about starting work at an ad agency in Mumbai. This is in the 1980s. And how she enjoyed it, how she got into the stream of working and managing home and juggling home and work, and it is written in a very, very witty manner. Very simple words, but beautiful language, handled so well, and the pace is also quite fast. You don't feel a lag anywhere. And another thing which I loved about it, it's something that a lot of us can identify with, no matter what our age. Starting out on new things, and not unsure of yourself what you will be. And she also talks about the 40s she started working in Mumbai. Then she shifted with her husband to Trivandrum in her 50s, and again she got into an ad agency in Trivandrum, and she works with a lot of youngsters, but she is unfazed by it. And it is so encouraging to read about things like that, and to read about that spirit of hers. It reminded me of so many women, so many strong women that I know in my life, like my mother, my mother-in-law, aunties, so many people, And I in fact gave this to my mother also, and she loved it. She could even identify a lot of people who were being featured here, who were being talked about, because Amma also is from the same generation. But I never felt a gap or a generation gap or anything like that, because it's such a beautiful read. So witty, my God, you'll burst out laughing in places. She does talk about tragedy in her life, but it's written so well. I mean, she doesn't delve too deeply into it. She talks about it, and you can really feel that underlying sadness there. Major events that happen in her life. So Radha Nair's Breaking the Cocoon is, I think, a beautiful read, which all of you will enjoy. I assure you, you will enjoy it. And in 70s, she stops writing formally for people, and she starts writing for herself. In fact, I follow her posts on Facebook, and it is so beautifully written. I've often enjoyed it, and I've often referred it to friends and all that. So when I got this book, I was like thrilled. Breaking the Cocoon at 40 is the book I enjoyed the most this month by Radha Nair. It's available on Amazon. So if you want a delightful, quirky, fun read, go for this. Breaking the Cocoon at 40 by Radha Nair. Yeah. So that is the book of the month for me. And now let's move on to my regular book review. And this time I've got non-fiction. This is not a genre that I usually read, as all my friends know. But the book that I'm talking about today was something which really affected me, and which is very gripping, very compelling reading. It is The Siege, The Attack on the Taj. It's written by two journalists, Adrian Levy and Cathy Scott Clark. This is a account of what happened during 2008, the Mumbai attack, and when terrorist attack landed on the shores of India in Mumbai, and they unleashed 3 days of terror. This book, The Siege, it focuses on what happened, on the events that unfolded in the Taj Hotel in Mumbai. There is a lot of research which has gone into it, meticulously researched. I mean, you see what they are talking about and how they are talking about it and what they are referring to, and they have talked to people who were actually involved who were there at that time. They have talked to journalists, they have talked to a lot of people who were related to the people who were there. They have got access to a lot of documents. They have got access to a lot of documents from government departments, which must have been incredibly difficult to get access to. So a lot of research has gone into this, and that reflects in the way it is written. It is written exactly like a thriller, but with a lot of facts to prove what they write about. You know, we see the terrorists coming, and we see it is heartbreaking actually. For me, I found it really heartbreaking. I was very influenced and I got sucked into it, you know, government apathy and, you know, things, small ego hassles which led to large blunders, things which could have been avoided, and the trauma that the people there went through, the media, how it handled it. So all these factors have been woven into the narrative, and you feel as if you are watching it happening there. And even now I remember, okay, I remember the Taj burning in the background while a policeman casually saunters across the screen of the TV. I remember that so vividly. And when you read the book, there are portions where you get really worked up on how things could have been avoided. It's a very well written book. The Siege, Attack on the Taj, written by these two journalists, is a beautiful read. It is a thriller, and it is also something which has actually happened. They talk about all the other allied attacks which happened in Mumbai, but the focus is on the Taj Hotel, the people who were there and the people who were affected by this, and the people who were involved in it. They trace the lives of the people who were involved in it, and it's written, it's about the 68 hours in which the Taj was taken over, and so many people were held hostage there. So today's book is The Siege by, I am not talking too much about it today. I realize I'm not talking too much about it because see, this is something which has happened, which a lot of us know about, and there's so much behind it. There's so many threads behind it which you're shocked to read about, and you know, things which did not come out in the media and which you were not aware of when you were seeing it. And I was deeply, like I said, I was deeply affected by this. So The Siege, The Attack on the Taj by Adrian Levy and Cathy Scott-Clark is a beautiful read. It is an account of what happened there on those days in November 2008, November 26th, 2008. So do read it if you have, if you want to know more about it. Do read it if you want to read a good thriller. Do read it if you want to read a good book. Forget thriller, forget non-fiction, forget genres, forget everything. Read it if you want to read it, if you want to read a good book. So that's all from me today. This book, this delightful little book, Breaking the Cocoon at 40 and The Siege. So do go and read something. Reading is absolutely delightful. It's an absolutely wonderful thing to do, and just go read. Bye.